Congratulations on making it through to our course outline. In this section, we provide you with an overview on how to effectively use this course so you'll be on your way to get the job you deserve. We understand resume and cover letter writing can be daunting, so if you don't know where to start, you don't have to fear, as you have found the right place that can help. Better Careers has been helping hundreds of clients locally, specializing in career training, resume and cover letter writing, but not forgetting the most important, creating lasting impressions to ace the interview. Regardless of your current career status, experience, or background, perhaps you're a first-time writer because you've just graduated, or you're an experienced seasonal professional, but you're wanting a more compelling and strong profile that can receive the attention that you deserve. It's very simple. As long as you are confident in yourself, we can help to enhance your outlook to stand out in the competitive market. This is how we're going to do it. We have broken it down into 3 sections: preparation, job search, and executing the resume and cover letter with me. So this is where I go through a step-by-step guide, easy to follow, so by the end of the course, you will have everything you need to go and get what you've been waiting for. Okay guys, I want to show you how to analyze a job advertisement. So there are 3 main discussions we're going to have in this video. So the 2 main components in analyzing a job advertisement. Then we're going to talk about how to find the HR, or assumingly the contact name. Then also the last but not least, just the right questions to ask the HR so that you can write a more compelling reason in your cover letter, or just know how to ace the interview a bit more better. So moving on, what we're going to do now is just go down and show you what we need to know in detail. So the first one here, I wrote understanding the job in detail, following by culture, experience and skills required, qualification, software, industry knowledge. Let me just briefly go through it. So culture, we're talking about the team environment, the dynamics, the inclusivity, the values and the mission. Then you move on to the experience and the skills. It's pretty self-explanatory. Going down to qualifications and softwares, just anything that you can pick up from the advertisement, which will get more easier for you to see once we go down the job advertisement together. We also go through to industry knowledge, so we're talking about any terminology, any coding of the industry. For example, if you work in construction in Australia, Victoria here, we talk about VBA, Victorian Building Authorization. That's one of them. We also got NCC and BCA. So codes and terminology and language in the IT industry, like coding and scripts, all that kind of stuff. We'll move on to mimic the writer. So what does this mean? This is something that you probably haven't heard outside, but it's more or less something that's going to help you to becoming one of the greatest or most competitive profile out there. And the reason why is because you are going to mimic the HR or the contact person who wrote the advertisement. So they're going to be like, oh my God, they know me very well. Because you're going to understand the language they use, the tone, and the context. What I mean by language here is we're talking about the expository. So what I'm going to say is expository. So it's a style that you're using to write. Is it descriptive, narrative, or creative? Something like that. Tone. So you can talk about being direct, formal, or informal. And context is just in general how the advertisement is laid out. You can talk about bold, dot pointed, long narrative, long, well, kind of like story, isn't it? But long, I was going to say paragraphed, or just very quirky, just like creative. So you might see some advertisements start off with a question, such as, do you have the ability to do this and this and this and that? You might find those in there. Well, then we're going to obviously find HR name and the questions that we need to ask. Okay, so without holding you any longer, we're going to go to seek.com.au, because this is our number 1 platform in Australia. We do use other job platforms. So we have Monster, LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, and Classified. But Seek is our current number 1 that we use, and what we're going to do here is we're going to type in the job. Let's just say accounting. We're going to move across to here to industries. Obviously we want to be an accountant, but just tick up everything that's got to do with accounting just to filter it. And we're going to go to, don't want to go Geelong's too far. We'll go all Melbourne, seek. Then we're going to go to all types here and hit full time. I'm going to change pay to 60 as a minimum, because I think I'm worth more than that, but anyways. And go down to relevance to date. Cool, alrighty. So, I'm just going to scroll down with you to get an understanding of the job advertisement. So I'll just quickly look. Everything looks right here. Okay, so firstly, what we want to do before I go any further is just explain real quickly of what all this means. So that's the job title there, and that's the company. They're probably listed it privately so you can't see it. And then you got the 3 dot points to why you should work at that place. Now that's a good pointer to understand because it's a really good selling point to them, but it's also a selling point for you to tell them that yes, I have experience in construction, example. Okay, let's moving on forward. You can see some companies also have logos. All this costs us more money, but I'm just letting you know anyways. Okay, so just going to go down a bit more further, down to the bottom. There's a recruitment company there, so we're just going to open one of them up so you can see. So I want to explain the difference here between a recruiter and a private advertised company, just so you know. That's the end of it. Alright. So we're just going to click up any random one here. And I'm just going to go down and just explain everything here real quickly. So you can see they're talking about them, about you, and the responsibilities and the skills. So it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? And generally they don't typically like to leave any of their contact details down here because they don't want to be called or harassed as they would say. How about the recruiter though? There's a recruitment company here, Two Scots Recruitment. So about the company that they represent, the culture of that company, and just a bit more. And look at this. Please call Gills on the number. They encourage you to give them a call, so that's the way it happens. Alright, so what I want you to do is copy the whole job advertisement as so. And we're just going to paste it into a blank page at the bottom here. Oh, look at the formatting. Alright, I'm going to have to fix that for a second. Sorry, just want to move that back. Okay, and then what I want you to do now is to analyze a job with me. So if you can open up a job advertisement now, maybe pause the video, and then we can do this together so you can learn. But what you want to do is click on that yellow button there so that you get this little tool, little pen, and you're going to start analyzing things that are important that would stand out, for example. So starting with the most important, we're talking about the job, right? So that's the job title, that's a company name, Spotlight. Moving down, let's read it together. Spotlight Retail Group, SRG, is a diverse, there's one word, an ever-growing business which has ever encompassed both the Spotlight and Ancana brands. Probably a good note to research these two. We are proud to be one of the largest Australian owned, so there's a good point, they said it themselves, with over 180 stores occupying 4.2 million square feet, employing over 7,000 team members. The financial accountant will join our financial team. Alright, so based in South Melbourne, that's the head office. That's a good giveaway of where their contact details are. The group is looking to appoint a dedicated, diligent, who will be responsible for a number of key tasks. So, key tasks, there you go. So you probably want to put that in your resume, just little key words here. Key responsibilities, CAPEX budgeting, reporting, assistance end-to-end month, year-end audit, preparation again, deliverables, actually I haven't highlighted that yet, process improvement initiative, including implementation of new financial models, assistance in financial support with new project initiatives, forecasting and budgeting. So I'm just trying to highlight the main words here, including commentary and insights, lead store queries and resolutions. Maybe we might need to identify what that means. Probably just create more customer awareness of the store and branding. SAP, there's a software. Previous retail experience, that's a must, you can tell. Experience with preparing financial statements, there's that. Various jurisdictions. AIFRS, so you need it. That's the industry we're referring to. So I don't even know what that is, but we can probably do a quick Google if you want, but that's just one of the industries there that you need to know about. Tertiary education, studying towards CA or CPA. Experience in using technology for automation, systems and processes. Have strong skills in MS Office and Word and PowerPoint. Attention to detail, problem solving skills, ability to coach junior, team oriented. So oriented team of flexibility to liaise with various other blah 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 and mainstream. Okay, no worries. Plays an important role in the growth. No, so you get the point there. Okay, so we've done this together. Have you finished yet? Okay, so what I want to do is we need to go all the way to the top. Now, just remember, not every company is going to have everything you need here. I mean, the job advertisement, you're going to have to go to the company itself and do a bit more research to identify. Mostly it's this one here. So you might have found an advertisement that you're working to now, and you probably don't find most of the keywords there. But let's go through it together. So we'll go down. We got diverse as a word. So largest spotlight, dedicated and diligent. Diverse, dedicated and diligent. That's 3 good words, isn't it? Is there anything else? No, that's it. Oh, okay. So you might want to just search their company a bit more to understand what kind of culture they have in there. But I'm happy to accept for now. Diverse, diligent, and dedicated. Though I'm sure there's more to that. I mean, if we want, we can open a new tab. No, that's not a new tab, my bad. And just open up the company spotlight. It's real quick. And just go to, oh, I'm pressing too much, I'm not even hitting it. Oops, that's not how we do it. Sorry, we need to go all the way to the bottom. Hopefully there's a little section here about Spotlight, our heritage. So family owned business stores, best quality best service family store working in there. Spotlight has over 100 stores. When you work in a Spotlight you can find everything you... It's a bit of a shamble, isn't it? It doesn't talk much about their culture. Now you will find that in some of the job advertisements, and even the company itself doesn't describe their culture itself. But that's not a big deal. I mean, you can still pick up some words here from the advertisement itself. So if you have a look, we've got diverse, diligent, and dedicated. So that's what they're describing of you and the team, right? That's good enough for now. If you want to know more, I do encourage making a phone call anyhow, because then you can basically ask more questions. But moving on, because I don't want to make this video so long for you. Experience and skills required. You've seen that they're probably requiring a software, which is SAP. They're also wanting this. So I'm going to put all that in anyways. Sorry, that is a software. What am I doing? MS Office, which is Word, Excel, PowerPoint. And then we need to also put SAP here. And then we need to understand all the dot pointing like budgeting, reporting, auditing, budgeting, reporting, auditing. This is initiatives improving, so I would probably just say continuous improvement, and you could probably create a suggestion which is new financial models, just in their context of terminology. Oops, that's not the right word I want. Coming down, we've got forecasting and budgeting. So I said budgeting already, just use the word forecasting. That's financial statements. Forecasting financial statements. Okay. Automation systems. Automation systems. All right. Okay. So now you know. Actually, sorry, I forgot to do one more part. Sorry about that. Which is the industry. So I forgot to put that in the qualification as well, but I will do that. The industry, we were talking about it just before. AIFRS. AIFRS. Now, if you don't know what that is, obviously when you're doing your own job advertisement, Google is your friend. You can search everything pretty much. I just also want to put over here CPA. Obviously you would have had your bachelor before that. Alright, so you already know all of this. This is going to help you write a really compelling cover letter already, which is in our section 3. Now we need to understand the language, tone, and context. So, pretty straight and direct. I mean, if you look at it, it's very short, direct. It doesn't give away a lot of things. It's just straight to the point. It's about who they are again, who they want from you, and then just your responsibility and skills, isn't it? If we go straight up here, I'm gonna say, I don't know what you think, but I think that's pretty descriptive. Not creative in any way. It's more rather direct, and I think it's just dot pointed, short dot pointed. So what does that mean? When you're writing a letter, you will be descriptive, direct, and dot pointed, and you will list in your achievements in your cover letter, which I'm showing in section 3 anyways, your dot point sections. Anyways, moving on. So finding the HR name. So we've got Spotlight here. What I want you to do is copy that, open a new tab, go to Google, put it there, and go LinkedIn. That's the best. Oops, what the hell am I doing? This is the best by far. It's not always accurate, guys, but it is a good giveaway. It helps if you're lazy and you don't want to make that phone call, or if you're afraid, I should say. Lazy is a bad terminology. Look, it tells you more about the company here. That's probably just copy and pasted from their website. But guys, what I'm about to show you here is another way of looking at things. It's just, for example, if you're applying for a lot of jobs and you prefer that high volume, just real quick and get it done, this is the way to do it. But my advice has always been to my clients is to make that phone call, and then you can ask more questions as well, which I'm going to cover at the end. So I'm going to do by all filter, and then what I need to do is I need to scroll down. Am I missing anything here? Yeah, there we go. We need to type in HR. Now guys, there's a few words that you need to type. If you've HR, you type up and it goes no search results. It doesn't mean there's no HR. It just means they've got a different job title, or might just be a contact person and the company's not big, so don't initially have a HR. So don't always think a company needs to have a HR, right? Someone else can be doing it. So you can search for HR, human resources, people is a good terminology because it brings people and culture, talent acquisition, HR manager, what else can I say? Recruiter, recruitment consultant. So there are so many words you can actually use. What else you can look for if the company is not big? You probably try out for operations manager. You also look for general manager and even the director himself. So these are the few things you should understand. So if I hit the apply button here, you see, oh, there's a few of them here. I've clicked on this one before. HR Talent Manager at Spotlight, National HR Advisor. So I'm going to bring this one up real quick. So she's only been there for 3 months. Doesn't mean that she can't be the one, but let's try on the HR Manager. 5 years. All right, I'm going to say she's the boss. So what you want to do here is go down to here and put her name in. Alright, now what are the questions that we should be asking the contact person or the HR? So first of all, what I want you to do is determine the reason why the job has become available. Is it because there was a maternity leave, someone's fallen sick, left the job, or been promoted inside, or the company's just growing? The reason why you need to know this, it's very, very simple, because you need to understand, writing this down, their expectation. So what is the expectation? Do they want you to work immediately, you sit on there and you know what you do and you get your job done? Or is there a bit of leniency because someone has left, or perhaps someone can train you a little bit, so you got a bit of time to, just settle in the job? That's number one. Number two, if you're going to be like myself or some of my clients that are a bit more confident to make those phone calls, then you would ask more about what other softwares they'll be using, because this one is actually a good example. Not every company would list all the softwares required. Ask who their customers are. That's another good question. Why ask for what customers? Because you're talking about, are they small business? Are they just individuals? Are they large corporations? Because you've got a very good interest into their company, right? You're asking questions. And lastly, if you can ask the question right, it's the culture. What is it like to work there? Now, not trying to invade into the privacy. Don't go and say, oh, I noticed you've been working there for 5 years. How's it like working there? She's going to say that you've been stalking her, so try not to do that. She'll get you off the phone really quickly. Alright, so this kind of sums up my video anyways on how to analyze a job advertisement. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned a lot from that. But anyways, you can keep this, I'm going to have this stored, in a document so you can make use of it and like a template and just follow on for every single job. The tip here is to never give up and follow the instincts and, just practice and learn from our system, because our system works. We've been using it for over 3 years here, so every client just gets success. Okay? Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Okay guys, so I just want to share with you how to use this preparation document. Okay, so what I've done is, if you look here, I've underlined all the titles which we're going to be going through. So 3 points: resume, cover letter, and job search, which is analyzing a job advertisement with me, and the questions to ask HR when you receive a phone call or when you make a phone call out. So let's get with it. So if I just press on resume preparation, you can see what it does. It brings me straight to there. Preparation for success. Okay guys, so whatever I've been discussing the whole time guys, it's all written down in case you do miss anything I say. Another quick thing I want you to see here is the little home button on each page. You can always click the home button and it brings you back to the top. Everything is self-explanatory. I've kind of written the best I can. It would even tell you if you need to open another document. So for example, in a cover letter, I even specify that you need to open the cover letter document or cover letter template to assist you. So all of that is in the supporting documents which will be attached. Hopefully you're not feeling overwhelmed. I know some of my clients tend to say that in a 3-hour consultation, they tend to get too much information. Anyways, I'm confident this should come a little bit more natural and easier to you since you've already worked through the preparation document that I've given you. What we want to do firstly is look at our margins. You can do this by going to layout, margin, and then be sure you have all around the document 1 inch or 2.54 centimeters. I believe Word has set that as default anyhow. Now, you can learn this together with me by opening up the cover letter template. I'll be explaining each step and hopefully you'll enjoy writing more cover letters. Now, as you can see, the top right corner is your name and the contact details. Next, we have to put the attention of the contact person, their job title, the company name, and the address. Notice that I've told you that we don't put the HR because we don't want to be putting human resource manager when they don't have a human resource manager, and it could likely be an operations manager, supervisor, boss, retail manager. You get the point. Following this, you have the date, which is about 2 spaces down. Optional from here, you can now go space down 6 times. This is what they say a professional letter would look like. You have to have this kind of spacing. And then you have dear first name of the contact person. Now guys, you've probably heard of using an icebreaker when meeting and speaking with a stranger. Well, can I tell you, in a letter, it shouldn't be treated any different. We like to call it either a personal statement or an icebreaker. You can either use a personal greeting, or you could even use anything you find that has a common ground or interest with the HR. I'd suggest a maximum of 2 sentences, as you can probably appreciate they don't have the time to read a love story. Now, an example I can give you, well, I like to tell all my clients here, is go for their surname. I mean, yes, you can probably make a mistake, but guys, if you're not going to be confident to make that phone call and talk to them, then using their surname, you can always try to resonate with a place, a type of food or cuisine, a type of item. See, do you get the point what I'm trying to say? It's a bit more easier to attack it that way. Getting to your purpose. What is the main reason for reaching out? What has interested you in this position? Now, you can even mention about their recent news, product updates, or even if you want to get away with the easiest way, or not trying to say that you're lazy, is just use the source of where you found the job from. For example, I refer to the job that you've advertised on Classified. What determines a good purpose in a cover letter is when you can interpret and understand the expectation of the writer. What I'm trying to say is, if the writer is trying to suggest they're looking for someone with a natural talent in softwares, then you would suggest that you have used a lot of platforms, softwares, coding, scripts, whatever you want to say. I hope this is making sense to you. So you must understand before you can deliver. Moving on to reason and support. Now, this section can be broken down into 2 paragraphs, and use dot points if you need to mimic. Because sometimes if you find they use a lot of dot points, yeah, let's just do that. We'll copy them, right? Hey, getting back to the reason. Why do you want to work for them? I want you to be a bit personal here. Don't always think about the obvious. Now, everyone always talks about one thing, money. The second thing they can always think of, career development. And what is the third thing? Oh my God, it's such a reputable company. Now, if I can challenge you to conduct further research, why this company, and understand their competitors, their products, their services, their weak points, their strong points, this is going to make you a clever person, and it's going to make you think outside the box when you apply for that job. Don't think what is your duties in the job. Think what your accountability would be in the company if you didn't do a certain job, what kind of impact it would have to the company. That's another way you should look at it. Now, it's definitely a great story after you can tell them why you want to work for them. But come on, guys, we need to meet them. This is where you need to sell it short. What achievements have you had that you can share with them, and perhaps your certain skills that you call unique to yourself? And don't forget, it needs to be relevant. If your responses are random, you're just going to make you look silly. I've had people, don't laugh at this, I've had people write such fair dinkum responses, such as, I won the food competition. And seriously, there are people out there. In closing, you want to be a bit different. Start off with your current situation. Perhaps try to suggest you are quite busy so that they know you could be in their eyes a quality candidate. Because everything that we're doing here is playing with the perception. Suggest to make a time on the phone first, always. The reason why I say this, guys, is what's the difference between a quality candidate and a non-quality candidate in an interview? Let me make it easier for you. They both can have as much experience as they want. They both can have as relevant skills and softwares. But the quality candidate is the one that understands how to lead a conversation. Make sense? So I always suggest to make a phone call first, or getting them to give you a call. And then I want you to answer their questions, but I want you to somehow ask questions back and follow on to lead to get them to meet you in person. And you've got yourself a 50-50 chance. I have more details on the next course on how to ace any interviews better. But for now, I just want you to get notice. So practice just the initial phases, the resume and the cover letter, start applying, and when you get results, hopefully you can think of me and put a nice word below so everyone else can see that I'm delivering results.
Looking to the example, you can see what I've written, and the achievements also show statistics and numbers. But it's not just that. As you can see how I've written it, so let's go back to the whole letter itself. The body itself is well clear structured. The top section to state that there's interest already. And reading on from the cover letter, you can see the clever written dot points. It's got facts. What do facts do? They just tell you something. What do stories do? They give you a more compelling reason, and they sell themselves short. It's like giving you a picture. A picture can sell you 1,000 words. I hope this makes sense to you. So what I'm trying to deliver to you here is, if you look at the 3 dot points, basically telling you this is extracted from the job advertisement, but I've written it cleverly in my own context, in the job for Madeline. So that's the take on that I want you to start doing. Oh, and lastly, please don't copy and paste onto every next job you apply. Because every job is different, guys. Come on, you can't always say, I like dogs in one of the company, and then the next has dogs for some odd reason. So I want you to change it, because every personal statement you give is going to be different. Let's face it. I hope you enjoyed this course, and I do look forward to hearing from your success. And if it does help you a lot, please do help share the link out to your friends and family, because it's going to help me as well, and I hope to help more people. Now guys, I've already done the resume, so don't be surprised if I can just spill it all out at you really quickly, because you would have done that as well yourself from that preparation document. So the first thing we're going to discuss today is the top section. Now guys, I forgot to mention to you that I will be breaking down this resume making section. We're talking about the top, the mid, and the end section, just to make it easier to digest all the information in. Okay guys, so I want to first important part before I do this. There's 2 main points you need to know when writing an effective resume. Number 1, the financial value. Does your resume indicate for the job that you're applying the financial value? What I'm trying to say here, guys, is resume worth $80,000 a year when the job's paying $80,000 a year. Now, the second main point I'm trying to discuss with you here is the cultural fit. Now, that's so important, because aside from the money, guys, the most important decision a company has to make is to make sure that they found that person can do the job, but also can fit well in the team. So do you stress enough in your resume the cultural fit? But this is the reason why we get you to the 3 words description on your profile, or your resume, I should say. I hope this is all coming to you slowly and naturally. So the applicant we'll be using today is Madeline Lee, who she actually works for us, but is our client advisor. And she has a daughter named Evelyn. Congrats to her, and she's now looking to go back to work full time in her desired field. And we've already chosen a job for her, which is in retail sales. That's what she came from, and management. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is to run you through this top section here and why it is so crucial and so important that I've left so much information in the beginning of the resume. First of all, we all know what's at the top. It's the name, of course, and then everyone writes their contact details here. Some people like to put the date of birth and what name of the dog is. Guys, we're just going to put the most important information, okay? Contact number and email address. Now, I need to stress 2 things before I continue. Number 1, English name, please, guys. I know you like your own name. I like my own name as well. You have to use your English name because it allows for less discrimination. What you want here is an opportunity to get a job, not for someone to look at your resume and criticize it. The second thing is your email address. Be sure to have a professional email. What I suggest is using your first name and your last name. If it's taken, just add some numbers, your favorite number, favorite color, whatever it may be, add it in there. And I do suggest using Gmail, because now Gmail has been recognized to be used throughout the whole workplace. I then put LinkedIn beneath it. Now, if you guys don't have a LinkedIn profile yet, don't stress. Just put the word LinkedIn there first for now. You can create an account later. It's for free. And for those that hit the bonus later, we can show you how to get that done pretty easily. Over here, I then put the job title. I actually do sometimes try to generalize the job title itself, but you can even use their job title as well. Then I put a bold statement about who Madeline is because I want them to get their undivided attention. Now, for those that are in a different industry that run projects, this could be you. You can put your multi-scale project, what kind of project that you've done and completed. You can even put how much money you've made for the company in such a short time. So that goes for, it could be engineering, architectural firms, any consultation firms and whatnot. Those are the things that can all go there. That's just an example. Then underneath that, I want you to put every software that you've used. Doesn't matter if you've only used a little bit or if you've only been exposed to it. I want you to put it all there because you want them to know one message from this, and that is you are software savvy. If you're not software savvy, well, come on, man, it's 2020. Get on with it. Learn some softwares. For those that obviously have been working for a long time, I've got a lot of respect for you people. And I know that you sometimes do miss out on the latest technology to come out. But there's a thing called YouTube, and the great thing about it is the community is so good in helping and sharing out how to use things and what to do. So if you don't know how to use a certain software, I wouldn't suggest you to say no straight away on spot. Tony Robbins has an amazing saying, one of the greatest mentors that I listen to, and he suggests is that when an opportunity passes by, I don't say no, but I say yes to it. Then I go home and I reevaluate whether I can do it or not. And then if I cannot do it, I will then call them and say, no, I can't. I want you to get this message very clear here. Don't say no to anything. Say yes to all until not for sure. Make sense? Now, the bottom here, we're going to put your, well, in this case, she's bilingual. So you've got fluent in English and Chinese in Mandarin. So if you've got any other languages, you want to put it here as well because you want to specify and show them that you can speak to other type of clients and deal with different type of cultures. Own transport and available for immediate starts. My favorite line. You don't have to put it, but the reason why I put it here, because it's going to get rid of all the unnecessary questions a HR or a contact person does when they give you a call. Do you have a car? Are you local? Are you available for an immediate start? Like, you know, these questions are just killing up time. That's why I just want to put it there. You don't need to put your working visa there. That's definitely not a no-go. Do not put your visa there because then it shows discrimination again. Okay? Just trust me on that. Don't need the research into it. Alrighty. Okay guys, so now we're going to go into our professional summary or career summary section. Now, what I suggest is those that have 3 years or less in their whole entire working experience, because you've just recently graduated, please put career summary, not professional summary, because you haven't actually done anything to even suggest that you're a professional worker. But guys, in long short, a summary that does not have a structure will not sell. It's like putting a career objective that basically says, I am looking to get into management. What type of management role, my friend? So I have given Madeline 3 words: self-starter, business acumen, and highly proactive. Now guys, I'm going to show you the job advertisement a bit later, so you can see it, but I did extract a few words such as business acumen, and just from reading the advertisement, you can kind of get she's a highly proactive person anyways, but I can kind of get a self-starter out of it. That's why I've chosen 3 words here. Now, what you want to do in the professional summary, as it says to you, it's a summary, is that you want to put, firstly, your personal profile, which is the 3 words. And then you want to tell them your snapshot of your entire career, and then follow on with what you're currently doing now, then what you were doing before then, and then your future goal. Now guys, you can be a bit more creative if you want. That's just my structure. You can even add a little bit more and be like, wow, and you know what? I'm going to add a bit more of achievements in here. I'm going to add a bit more of, and I want to put in maybe perhaps what relevant projects that I've done that I have made such a remarkable name on. Guys, you can even add a personal statement like what I'm trying to do here, which is fortunately an opportunity for a daughter, Evelyn, to be taken care of, which with the help of the family, Madeline can now pursue a full-time career with a passion in retail. You see how it sounds so sweet? I mean, when you read it, you're like, wow, I remember her now. Because I remember she has a daughter named Evelyn, and come on man, Evelyn's a cute name, you gotta admit that. Guys, that's gonna finish this video for now. I wanted to keep it short because I don't want to make it too much information to be overwhelming. So this is the top section. Got any questions? Always refer back to the preparation document, or I'm going to leave my email address in somewhere so you can always reach out to our team here. Now guys, this is just a quick video on a structural type scenario. So you're probably wondering, what do I put next after the professional summary? Do I put my experience? Do I put my soft skills, my qualifications? Guys, you can put whatever you want, as long as it looks neat. That's the point here. But in my opinion, if you want to hear from me, if you have more than 7 years experience, I suggest putting a careers highlight section. The reason why I suggest a career highlight section, well, because it allows the reader to be a bit more clear on who they are dealing with. They know you from who you are as a person, because you've kind of told them, but now they know you in a snapshot, so they don't have to go any further in your resume. And if they're interested, they can really put you in the yes pile to contact later. That's how good these points I'm giving you are. This worked so many times for us. Now, if you don't have over 7 years experience, that's fine, doesn't matter. You can skip the careers highlight section and put your soft skills. Guys, so what I've done is I've decided 4 strong soft skill points for Madeline. It's relevant and it's tailored to the job. They talk more about people, customer service. They talk about team building, and that's why I've specified the team building itself. Now, sales and marketing, it stresses highly on sales, but not marketing. And the reason why I put marketing is her previous job involved heavily on marketing. So it's another additional skill to consider you as a greater candidate than the next, if that makes sense. But yeah, guys, so what is soft skills? Soft skills is essentially not something that you learn by doing. It's learned by experience. You don't learn to communicate well. You learn how to talk. But after talking for so long and someone telling you not to say so, you learn to communicate. Even when you learn to communicate, you learn to have 2 ears. You listen to someone before you respond. You learn to communicate better. But when you want to communicate more exceptional, you then can understand there's all types of people that you need to deliver your messages to. Everyone has a different pace. That's called exceptional communicational skills. I'm just giving you examples. Sorry to blub you around, but strong interpersonal skills, effective communication, team building, and sales and marketing. Now, guys, just be mindful, you have to add a description after what you specified. You don't just list them down, right? Anybody can list them down. I might as well just go list that I can do everything. Guys, you want to tailor a description to the response of the advertisement. I'm just going to read out something just straight to you right now about the effective communication, okay? You can see the rest. So effective communication, I've put for Madeline Lee, she's taken on a consultative approach. She always looks in the win for the both parties. But at the same token, she understands the styles of communicating on all levels. You see what I've written there? You can write so many other things. Bilingual, fluent in English and Chinese, being able to speak to Chinese business partners. Make sense? Other things you can even put is that you've got key skills on presentation. You've sold so many products and services over one presentation. Those kind of things you can all mention as well. So guys, I hope this has been clear for you. This is just a breakdown between what structure goes next, your career highlights, soft skills, or the qualifications. Now guys, I might as well go through with you the qualification section, which is just here. Madeline Lee's gone to University of Melbourne for a Bachelor of Business Administration. Man, I'm telling you, she's overqualified this job in my opinion. Guys, we want to tell all our clients to maximize the space on the resume, because less is more in some ways, but also you want to put a lot of information that is relevant to the job, which is what we call keywords. So if you look in here, a Bachelor of Business Administration, I suggested that she specializes in change, business management, and team lead. These were part of her courses that she learned. Was it really? Partially? Maybe not even 5%. Guys, it is all about the play here. What you write here is to perceive. You know, you want to put a perception in the mind of the contact person or the HR. Wow, this person's got experience. Then you can meet them, have a chat to them, make them love you, and get a job. Guys, this is the end for me on this video. What we'll do next is discuss more about the professional experience or the employment history. Okay guys, so we've left the most difficult task to the end. And yes guys, I've seen a lot of my clients have a little bit of resistance in this area. Yes, I can tell what I've done in my job, but how do I put it in a context or a structure that sells and makes me look professional? Right, I get that question a lot. Now, what I'm trying to deliver to you here is basically, you can use dot points, but those dot points have to be sound reasoning and strong. What I'm trying to say is, when you use a dot point, make sure it's going to deliver the message that you want to tell them. Now, the structure that we're going to use is the month and the year to the month and the year, or if it's to the present. Better Careers, that's us, client advisor. It's an Australian-based career coaching company specializing in training, employability, skilling, and recruitment. And guys, you want to give a little bit of a description on every company that you have worked for, as you can see right here. Going through the description itself, I'm going to go through this job here, which is the ABC Enterprise Retail Sales Manager. She has led, trained, and supervised a team of 20 sales and retail staff across multiple sites with improvised strategies, delegations, and skill development. Move to the next one. She's recruited talent, optimizing budget allocation whilst ensuring delivery of customer service is paramount and increasing in bottom line. Increased overall sales and profitability of the business through strategic VM, which is visual merchandising. It's common in retail outlets, and modeling and remodeling of marketing to target return customers with reward programs. Now guys, can you see the point I'm trying to say here? I am not listing what her job is. We are listing what she does for the company and the results that are staggering. Does that make sense? So if your job is in administration and you basically say, oh, my job is to type up contracts, send emails, answer phone calls, what else? Maybe clean the kitchen, maybe do the mails. I don't know what else you can do what. But guys, what I'm trying to say here is if you list it like that, it just sounds very weak. That sounds harsh, isn't it? How do you make it sound strong? So if you're in administration, what if I told you that you can write something like this? Another example can be if you were going to talk about phone calling, you can suggest how many phone calls you've managed. For example, managing a busy switchboard of over 26 phone calls in a day whilst managing and executing 20 contracts and servicing multiple clients, something like that. So you want to tell them what you've done, not what your job is required of you. Make sense? Another important thing that you need to know about the whole entire professional experience section is that every job you apply for, be sure that it's going to be tailored. You don't want to miss any keywords or any dot points that, make them think that when they look at your job description, wow, it doesn't look like you are relevant, if that makes sense. Lastly, what I want to say here, guys, is two main important things that I want to deliver to you guys, which is one, be sure that it's an achievement, not a job description. And secondly, make sure you tailor the job to a specific environment that involves a team, not just yourself, but a team. So if your role is in customer service, I'd expect you to say team in most of the environments. I'm going to end the video here, and I hope you enjoyed the nice way of writing a resume. Hope you learned a lot, and I know it can be a bit challenging. The most important thing is every time you learn something different, you're only going to get better, not for the worst. When you finish this resume and cover letter and you start applying, I'm going to be so happy for you because you're going to start getting results, and then you're going to start writing good comments for me. So I look forward to seeing you on the next course that I'm going to do. I'm going to have a course on how to ace interviews better.